Live. Good morning, everyone. This is Actor Page Interviews, StreamYard with our New Works Night playwrights and actors. And today we're talking with Adam Hurst and Laura Force Scruggs. Adam Hurst has written a play called Matthew Threehorn, which we will be performing tonight. And Laura Force Scruggs introduced me to Adam and is in the play as Mrs. Shattuck and Kathy. So thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. And we'll get started by talking about what the play. Well, actually, let's start with what got you into playwriting, Adam.
Well, I mean, I've been doing theater for the majority of my life. I was the theater kid in high school. I actually started high school thinking I was gonna do computer classes, and like I was really into PCs and like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And I don't know why, but I just one day just switched all my computer classes to theater classes in high school, and it just kind of stuck. Like I never left it, and then I pursued it in undergrad. So I kept on doing undergrad, and then I was like, you know what? I need more debt. Let's get an MFA. And so I went to the whole grad school thing, and during that time, I did take a couple of script writing classes, but really the writing bug didn't really hit me until I started doing more like sketch comedy or improv when I was in Chicago, and I really just fell in love with the whole like community writing things, throwing ideas at each other and just coming up with like these fun sketch ideas. And then then I wrote one of my first plays. And then after that, I was like, I had a couple of nephews that were around, and I just thought back to when I was younger. I got a chance to see theater when I was younger, and I just kind of wanted to pay forward and try to write, plays that aren't talking down to kids, that kids and parents can enjoy together. And that's been the whole kind of push for at least a couple of my shows that I've written was for the kids. So yeah, That's kind of how it all started.
So you got a lot of training in Chicago,
Yes.
but your undergrad was, and now you're in Dallas.
Correct.
And where did you do your undergrad?
Undergrad is a little school called Vanguard University. It's in Costa Mesa, California.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're a California kid.
Yeah. So I was down there for a few years doing that. Little tiny school, like 5 minutes away from Newport Beach, 45 minutes away from LA.
Nice.
So I had a Disneyland pass for 3 out of my 4 years of schooling, so that was awesome. But no, I had a good time in California. It wasn't really my cup of tea for like staying there professionally. Eventually, I did leave because I felt it was more of a camera crowd, film crowd, and that just wasn't my my motivation or my passion at the moment. So I headed off to grad school to keep on pursuing theater.
Yeah, we've got an actor who just jumped the country from New York to California, and he's part of the Ojai Playwrights Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and but yeah, and then we have another actor who lived a good bit of her life in LA, and so yeah, it's a film and TV town primarily.
Yeah, I have a brother down there. He's an editor. He lives in Hollywood, so he's. I definitely hear a lot of really just fun stories about him. Like, oh yeah, I met John Williams today. I'm like, oh, John Williams of Star Wars? Yeah, John Williams. Like he just tells me little stuff like that. I'm like, holy crap, dude. So it's fun to vicariously pretty much live through him and hear all his little Hollywood stories he has, and kind of do my theater thing away from there. But yeah.
So you've started writing for children, or you've been writing for children, and you said the idea was to not talk down to children.
Yeah.
And so how do you manage to negotiate that balance when you're writing for children? What is it you're looking for or looking to avoid?
I don't know. Like I've just seen because while I was in Chicago, I did actually have a season membership to a couple of children's, like the Chicago Children's Theater, and there was another company that I had season, like a pass holder. Like I would go see the shows.
Yeah,
And
subscription.
yes, thank you. I can't think of the word. And I'd be the guy sitting in the dark with all these kids coming in on buses, and I talked to adults and they knew I was cool. Like but yeah, I would go see shows by myself at like 10 a.m. And
Yes.
I just saw I just saw a lot of this stuff that me, I'm sitting there and I'm just like these kids aren't idiots. Like I just don't feel, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I'm not trying to say that other writers think kids are idiots, or anything like that, but I just thought, man, these kids are so much smarter than this.
Sure.
And yeah, so I don't know how to answer that question. Yeah, I don't know what I may not even know. I may just be not even know what I'm doing. But yeah. So that's just my goal was to do that. But yeah, sorry, didn't answer your question at all.
Well, so your sense was some of the plays were talking down, and to reach more or reach deeper or better to the kids, it was to talk on a level that didn't seem condescending.
Correct. And really, I really wanted adults and kids to enjoy it together, to share
Right.
experience
Right.
and like have a good time. Everyone mentions like, oh, Pixar does a great job about that. And like they do. Like Pixar movies do a great job. Like they do
Sure.
jokes for adults and like kids
They
enjoy it at
do.
the same time.
They
So
do. Yeah.
so yeah, definitely that mindset. I think that's more fair. It's like I wanted kids and adults to be able to enjoy something and share theater together.
Right. Right. That's great. So, Laura Forrest Scruggs, you have not. Have you written children's plays?
Not really. I did write a play with a friend called Meet Me on the Ceiling. And some people think it's for kids, some don't. It wasn't intended to be. But it's also about bullying, actually, along with the theme of Adam's play we'll be doing tonight.
Right.
But about a misfit child.
Right.
And his mentor, Mrs. Swack, as in Sealed with a Kiss.
Yeah.
And about fairies and how to, how wonderful he is and how he can relate to other kids, and he makes a friend. And
Mm-hmm.
so but not really. And I've written about my nieces.
Right. And you've
Parker
written
Green-
plays from a child's perspective.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Punk Grandpa is about when I was about 5 3/4 years old, but it's not really a play for kids. However, I did recently turn it into a 15-minute play that I feel is appropriate for kids. I'm still working on that.
Okay.
And I am trying to get something submitted to a theater company for kids that's has a due date by the end of the year about my nieces, Emily and Juniper, who are 3 and 6 now.
And we see pictures of on Facebook.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, Laura just mentioned the theme of the play we're going to present tonight. It's a beautiful theme about, and certainly it's something that both children and big kids should relate to, which is about fitting in or not fitting in and accepting differences. And so, how did you come up with the idea for the play, Adam?
I mean, I wanted to. I had some goals when I was writing the play. I knew I wanted to do the whole like parents and kids enjoying together. I knew I wanted it to have either minimal set pieces or easily so I can travel. It could go to assemblies if need be, and I wanted just to be able to have a lesson at the end without like nailing it on the head. Like I wanted to be able to talk about race and like how we all looked different, but I didn't want to include being black, brown, gray, or yellow. Like so I was like I just then brought in the whole monster idea, and just like we can talk about scales and wings and horns and talk about that, have that conversation without having that conversation. And that's really what started it, was just that whole thing. And then once I had the concept of monsters, it kind of just went along on its own. So yeah, that was that.
It's a beautiful message. What kind of reactions have you gotten to the play?
It's been mostly positive. Like of the 5 or 6 shows I've written, this one has definitely gotten the most interest. I've been lucky enough to I got a reading at Chicago Dramatist when I was there. I did Three Cats. I got an opportunity to have an earlier draft with them. So this definitely has been getting a lot of positive feedback, which is great. I adore this show. My mom wants to write a kids book based on it. I'm like, Mom, let's try to get this produced first. Let's try. I want it to be a play before we go into the book. So the reaction has been really nice. One of my favorite things was the Chicago, when I did it with Chicago Dramatist, they actually had like surveys that the audience members could fill out, and these 2 little girls were friends of a playwright I knew, and they came to the show, and their surveys I still have saved in a box, because they said was like, this is the best play I've ever seen. That's all they wrote. So I have those 2 surveys in my closet in a box saved away. And so for tonight, I'm actually excited because I'm pretty sure my 2 nephews and niece are going to be able to watch it with my parents, and they've seen nothing that I've done. They haven't read anything I've done. They know I do theater stuff and I'm the fun uncle. But I'm pretty excited for them to get like a little glimpse of like, hey, this is something I do, and I'm pretty passionate about it. So I'm excited that they'll get to see it tonight.
So if you're just tuning in or catching the recording of this, we're going to feature tonight Adam Hurst's play, Matthew Three-Horn, which has a beautiful message about fitting in, being accepted, and about kind of the source of bullying. And so I hope you will join us. We've got a great cast, including one of the cast members who's here today, Laura Forskrug, who's playing Mrs. Shattuck, the teacher, and Kathy, the mom. And Peter Quinones as Matthew, Pete Blatchford as Thrash, Carrie Grove as Amanda, and Jack Levine as Gabe, and Nikki G as Anne. It's a really sweet cast and a very sweet play. It'll start. We'll broadcast live on Facebook and at 6:30. And if you'd like to be in the Zoom room and talk to the playwright or actors afterwards, you can message us at fishlickerimprov@gmail.com for the link. So we hope you'll join us, and you can check it out on Facebook or in Zoom. So, Laura, why don't you tell us about your character in this play?
Oh, yeah. So I get to be first Mrs. Shattuck, the teacher, who I feel is a lot like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. Like Adam told me, it's her favorite, it's the most important thing to her to be a teacher to these children.
Sure.
And so she has a wild imagination, and she's very ebullient and energetic, and just has a fire and a passion for teaching and for the kids as individuals. And she does take a special interest in what Matthew Three-Horn's going through and meets with him one-on-one. And it's just so much fun. And then I also get to be Kathy, the mother of Thrash, the bully, who's very smart. Get a little peek into his home life. And I like what Adam was telling me about how kids see a lot of adults as the same, like in Charlie Brown. And so he was thinking about that. He was writing the characters, and he was designing the characters to be similar. They could be similar. Did I get that right, Adam?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to the characters I'm playing?
No, that's perfect. Like Mrs. Shattuck definitely just swims in knowledge and giving that to children, and that's where she likes to be. And she is just a caring monster that understands what's going on, but at the same time just wants to enlarge everyone's brain. But and I wanted Kathy to have similarities, but at the same time just be an understanding, just like low-key kind of monster that understands Matthew, and just not all people with bullied kids are just mean parents. It might just be the kid. It's not the parent's fault.
Yes, that was interesting to me. Yeah, I think that was a fun, interesting choice. Not the obvious choice of, of course, he's being abused at home. No.
He's just he's just dealing with his own. He's just dealing with his being in his own skin. That thrash.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Being a freak himself too. Everybody's a freak
Hmm.
in some
So
way in the
it is
play.
an interesting choice. The
Mhm.
play is a children's play, although certainly adults will get something from this. And
Mhm.
it's a fun read. There's some really fun moments in it and some very touching moments in it. And it is, I think it's always important when a play asks good questions, which this does in a subtle way about the source of bullying. And you're right. Yes, often it is that the child is being bullied at home, but that's not the situation here. And so that's represented in this play,
Hmm.
that there is another uh, impetus for the bullying. And so it's just, I think anyone who tunes in tonight is really going to enjoy
Mhm.
Matthew Threehorn and this great cast. Anything else we should talk about? And I guess I should ask you guys what do you hope the audience, what do you want the audience to get out of this tonight?
I mean, I just hope they um, just are entertained. They enjoy themselves,
Mhm.
have a good time, but at the same time can just walk away and just understand that we're all different. It's not a bad thing, and in fact, we should probably just like take that on and celebrate that fact. And this year has been crazy. Um, doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on politically. We all have differences, and maybe just a little bit, they can walk away and be like, you know what, 2021 could be a little better, and I could, relate to someone that's different than me. That might be a long shot, but maybe a little sliver of that. Someone can walk away and get that out of this. Maybe, just maybe.
That's a great message. Yeah, that's a great message at the end of this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam always has a really good sense of humor, and I think people will laugh a lot, and I think that's one of the things we need the most right now. And like he was saying, celebrating the differences, seeing celebrating diversity and seeing the freak in us all, and
Yeah.
loving ourselves, self love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Self love and
Mhm.
you said whatever side of the fence, or if you're sitting on the fence, or whatever it is, um,
Mhm.
to embrace indifferences and find commonalities. And it's great if it's great to exalt our children to do that. It's even better when we can model that for them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, because we know time and time again, kids learn not from what you say, but from what you do.
It's true.
Mhm.
So, what are you guys working on now?
Me currently, I have a one act that I'm first draft. Actually, Laura and I we do a little playwright group meetup. We try to meet up like at least twice a month. So I'm excited to get that going and have them hear the words. So basically, yeah, it's basically just me writing about a grandma who may never really meet her kids that were born prematurely because she is dealing with her health issues as well. And so, yeah, it's just a short little sweet, so far 34-page one act kind of thing. Um, yeah, it's just something I it's a tone that I've not really written before. It's just very kind of just a sweet little thing, but it's kind of like a little love letter because it does hit home. It is coming from my situation because my girlfriend's family, they had twins that were born 4 months early. They're dealing with cerebral palsy, and it kind of points light on their situation. So I'm writing what I know, but it's
Right.
definitely a little love letter to their situation and what they kind of went through the past 4 years.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
really touching,
Yeah.
and with this backdrop of Disney involved
Yeah,
too, fantasy component,
yeah,
magical,
yeah. I did
so good.
lean into like, yeah, because the grandma character is really into Disney movies and just Disney in general. So I do have a lot of like fun little quotes from Disney movies that are intertwined in the script, and I had a lot of fun with that because my family is a Disney family as well. So yeah, so I had a lot of fun with dealing with the whole magic and all that stuff. So
Okay.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Sounds wonderful. Laura,
Mhm.
what I know we're going to be doing your play Heart of Fairy in a couple of weeks.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you, I know you're working on a play about Jane Addams.
Yes, thank you. Yes, as a playwright in residence this year with 3CAT in Chicago, I've been working on a play about Jane Addams and her work with children at Chicago's Hull House and the impact of childhood upon us, but it'll be intended for all ages, more for adults, but probably some big kids too, maybe junior high or high school. And especially focusing on, she and her volunteers built the first playground in Chicago. And when they opened the gates, the kids were already in there because they had dug underneath.
Kids caught on. See, there you go. See, kids knew.
So the importance of play.
Now, she built the first. She built the first playground. She built Whole House, and so what her mission was to basically elevate the condition of children.
That was her favorite thing. She said that the book nearest to her heart that she wrote was Youth in the City Streets. It's something, I'm not getting the title exactly right, but something like that. And that she really wanted to have the house for the kids and clean up the garbage so that they could have a clean place to play. She was the first woman garbage inspector in the city of Chicago. Said a lot about
I
that.
did not
And
know
also,
that.
she really fought for the rights of
Sure.
child workers in the factories. So those are my three main things I've been focusing on for right now. And then she had, the children's hour every day at Hull House. And her nephew, James Weber Lynn, I don't have the quote exactly right, but it's something like, no matter what indignities she'd suffered, she always had the children's hour every day. And so right now, I've written like fairy tale versions of what she's going through in her adult life that she's able to say to the kids it's appropriate. So that's what it looks like right now. It may change. I just finished the fourth draft yesterday.
Oh.
But it'll be read a few times with 3CAT actors, and then we'll record it, and then it may or may not be released. That's going to be our New Works Festival.
Okay. We've been talking with playwrights Laura Force Scruggs and Adam Eugene Hurst, and we are featuring tonight Adam's play Matthew Threehorn at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. It will be live on Facebook and YouTube. Actually, live on Facebook. I haven't figured out yet how to broadcast from Zoom to Facebook and YouTube. I don't think I have that option, but anyway, you can catch it on my on Parker's Facebook page. And if you want to be in the Zoom room, just email us at fishlickerimprov@gmail.com or email Adam or Laura, and we'll get you the Zoom room link.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be in the house and talk to the actors and the playwrights after the show. Matthew Threehorn is a sweet children's play, but it's got a great message for adults too. And we're bringing it tonight with some wonderful actors: Peter Quinones, Jack Levine, Nikki G, Pete Blatchford, Carrie Grove, and Laura Forrest Scruggs. So I hope you will tune in, because I think you're going to find it's a great way to spend your holiday, your Saturday before Christmas, or your Saturday at the end of the year, or with Hanukkah or whatever. It's got such a wonderful message about acceptance and love and difference. Anything else we should mention before we wrap up?
No.
It runs about an hour.
Runs a little more than an hour.
Yeah.
No?
We would say free snacks, but free snack. Yeah, we would say so. But snacks are on you.
Yeah, bring your own snacks and they'll be free.
Right. Bring your own snacks and they're free. And as one of our actors recently said, pants optional. Because it's Zoom. Yeah, he said, what's the best thing of performing on Zoom? He said, pants optional. So yeah, you get to enjoy this from the comfort of your house with a bowl of popcorn and see a really fantastic show by an emerging playwright who I'm excited to see more of your works.
Oh,
so this is a fine piece. So I hope you will join us tonight, and thank you, Laura Scruggs and Adam Eugene Hurst.
Thank you.
Oh,
And I'm
thanks
going to
for
see
having
you.
us.
I'm going to see you tonight in the Zoom room. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and we hope to see you tonight.
That'd be great. Love to see
Goodbye.
you.
Love to see you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.